Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infused Transitions. I am so glad that you are here. I thank each and every one of you for coming in, being a part of our community, a part of this channel. For those of you who are new, we're so glad that you found us and that you've joined us. Hopefully this video resonates with you, and if it doesn't, there are plenty for you. We hope that you go check out the other videos and see if any of them resonate well with you. And we invite you to enjoy and become a part of our community. For those of you returning, thank you guys so much for your constant and continued support. I really, truly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And I do want to give a special shout out for those of you who do those thumbs up for me, because that really does each of these things, right? You know, the watching, the thumbs up, the joining, subscribing, sharing, all of these things help the community. They do help me, yes. They help me, they help the channel, they help the community though, and they help us to get these messages out to others that may also benefit from receiving the messages. So I just want to say thank you very much for all of that support. All right, without further ado, we're going to get started, guys. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. These are the decks that I was called to pull and bring forward. We may or may not use all of them. Some of them, one of them, once in a while, they shake it up and I end up using none of them. So, and they have me pull something completely different. So let's get started. All right, we are going to get started. So let's see, what are we pulling first, please? Okay, just so all of you know, I do shuffle the cards as I'm putting them away. I also shuffle the cards when I take them out. And I try to remember to shuffle the cards before I begin pulling. But like in the moment each deck I pick up, I'll shuffle. Sometimes I forget, but just know that they've already been shuffled at least a few times before I get to this point. All right, so I'm wanting to look at just basically the rest of the month of July of this year. So let's look at that. So let's see, Utmost High, what messages do you have for us for the month of July of 2024. And just so you know that if you find this video and it's not for the month of July of 20, or you're not in the month of July of 2024, it's okay. Because, you know, I feel like messages are timeless. And when somebody finds a message, that's when it's the right time for that message for them. Okay, thank you. We have the green corn moon, patience. And to me, and I'll show you the card in a moment, to me this looks like, almost like, you know, when you're coming through that birthing canal, right? I feel like it's saying, you know, it's in this process. She's carrying a red balloon too. I would have to look up. I don't know. This is the secret language of color. It's interesting because red came up just yesterday. Yeah, so red is free yourself from pain. Red contains unlimited energy, vitality, power, and draws money and prosperity into your life. It is a powerful agent for healing, and it talks about different health things, but I'm not going into that. It releases, you know, stimulation to stimulate the mental and physical energies. Lady, leave him alone, please. And then it just talks about you can use the red sword of light to heal on all levels. So I don't know if that's for everyone or a few people, but that's just what came. And I think I turned the camera a bit when I did that. Anyways, so it says patience. And again, you know, birthing takes time, right? You're in that gestation period, and you know, it will come through at its own divine right time. Okay, so let's put that where you can actually see it. Okay. Where else are we going? Okay, we're going over here. You might start hearing Napoleon meowing. He, for those of you who know Napoleon, I've recorded some private readings for people this morning, and he's been in here with me while I've been doing that. So he's like, okay, I'm ready to go out and play with my brother now. But he's going to have to wait a moment. Oh, I don't know if you just like, he's just like, no, I don't want to wait. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Oh, thank you. We have man holding a heart. Could be talking about someone coming into your life, and it can mean romantic, but it can also just mean somebody who's very emotionally mature. It could mean somebody who's very passionate about life in general, about all relationships of all kinds. Where else are we going? Okay. Look at that. We have door to romance on the bottom of the deck. So for some of you, you could be having a romantic partner coming into your life, or a rekindling of something. But I feel like it could be something new, but again, whether that's like a brand new person or just a new cycle within an established relationship. What else do we have for the month of July of 2024? Thank you. Surrender to the divine. So it could be that maybe, just maybe, some of us are trying to control things as to how, when, where, who, what. Yeah, dreams need a practical location or a practical plan. Where are we going? Okay, thank you. No, all right, what else do we have, please? Talking about the month of July of 2024 for our community, as individuals, as a group. What's happening? Energies for us for July, messages for us. A new moon in Capricorn. So step up and lead. Step up and lead. So surrendering to the divine, and then step up to lead. For those of you where it's not about control, it could be about whether there's an opportunity that comes forward for you to step up and lead, or whether it is about creating something that would require you to take the lead. That is about surrendering to the divine. And I mean that in the sense of, because we can sit here and go, I can't do that, or I've never done anything like that, or, you know, well, that's so not me, because I'm not that kind of an outgoing person, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But surrendering to the divine would be stepping into that place of leadership through that energy, right? Through love. Now, again, this could be romantic love, but it could also be just talking about moving in the energy of balanced love, healthy love. You know, the purity of love when it is healthy, balanced, and it's aligned, right? And that includes having healthy boundaries. And if you're not sure what that looks like, and for some of you, you may think, well, of course I know what that, well, okay, but not everybody does. And if you're not sure what healthy boundaries look like, I would suggest that maybe you could go do some research for that. Find out, what does that mean for you? And what does that look like for you? And start educating yourself and doing some research to find the answers to that. Patience with yourself, but also patience with how things, you know, come forward, how they play out, you know, and stepping up and leading yourself, stepping up and leading whatever that looks like. Okay, where are we going? Yes. Okay. I would also say it's also about, you know, it can be about surrendering to the divine when they're talking about a higher power, but it can also be talking about surrendering to the divine within yourself. And I'm talking about a higher power that is, you know, the higher power as in a high vibrational higher power. Okay, so we have peace. Contemplating. Embrace your confusion. Let there be peace in not knowing all the answers. So again, we're being told patience. And this would tell me then that there's things that maybe we don't see, we don't understand. We don't know what the answer is going to be. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. We don't know that if we take this one step, what then are the next, you know, 5, 6 steps, right? Okay. So peace. So you know, you can see the contemplation on there on her face. You know, she's looking, and I would say she's looking at a bird's eye view because she's way above this stuff, the water, the mountains. Because I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like either that these are clouds. Yeah, well, it looks like snow, mountains, and then the mountains go up into her as a part of her bottoms of her dress, and then it just goes in more into her as an individual. So I would say it's having that bird's eye view and learning to find what gives you peace throughout the process. What gives you peace throughout the process. And I feel like sometimes it can be about things that are challenging, but it can also just be because things are new, you know, that because things are changing, it's like, well, that can be unsettling for a lot of people, right? Just not knowing. And sometimes we have to just be okay with not knowing the answer. My body is a wondrous and magnificent machine, and I feel privileged to live in it. So I will say that whatever this process is, throughout this process, it is going to be important to just really do what you can to nourish and support your body. Yeah. I find it interesting that a moon card came out from this deck, and it's not a moon-oriented themed deck. And yet the moon was the first one that came out from this deck when the moon decks are the ones that were being utilized. All right, freedom. I have the freedom and the power to create the life I desire. Freedom. There's that beautiful, beautiful word, freedom. I have the freedom and power to create the life I desire. Step up and lead. So, yeah, I do feel that that's kind of like the theme of the month of July here in 2024 at this time. And again, I keep repeating that time frame just because there's a lot happening right now. But again, whenever you find this video, that's the time for you. All right. So we're getting, all right. So what do you want us to utilize from this deck for support? To help us, to support us, to guide us, to whatever we're looking for. So what else do you want to add to this with this deck? What do you want to add to this with this deck? Oy. All right. We have the Two of Water, and it's for mallow. Mallow. I don't know what kind of, oh, hummingbirds. And there's hummingbirds. So you may want to look up hummingbirds, the energies of hummingbirds. Sorry. Let's look up mallow. I forget this deck does it very differently. Two of Water. Okay, mallow. Let love in. Let love in. Soften dry and brittle wounds. Welcome genuine connection. So, you could be looking at, again, because it's talking about letting love in. Yes, again, it could be romantic love. It could be just about love itself. And it's interesting that it uses the phrase soften, dry, and brittle wounds. When you look at where she's at now, look at the the grasses and stuff. Everything looks very drying out, right? It's drying out. It's yellows and browns and hold on, Napoleon. And it's having this self-love while you're in here. And I would also say that it's about she's holding on to that red balloon, that love, right? Drawing on that inner strength. Napoleon. Drawing on that inner strength to ensure that you're doing what you can to do self-love, self-care, self-support. And again, this stepping up, learning to step up and take care of yourself, to lead yourself. And the interesting thing is there's a lot of times, right, we can step up and lead someone else and be okay with doing that. No problem. But when it comes to leading ourselves, we struggle. So marshmallow grows at the edge of the garden. The sturdy stalks, heavy with soft green leaves, reach up to the bright blue sky. The plant is covered with white flowers and delicate pink centers. A ruby-throated hummingbird suspended in air nurses on the nectar. Another sips from a flower that has fallen into the stone fountain of Aphrodite. So you may want to look up, the energies of marshmallow or mallow as a plant, because I like to look at a variety of sources. And again, I take what resonates and I leave the rest. And please understand that you can say, well, I looked that up before, maybe months or years or whatever go by and, it comes up again and then you're like, oh, I looked it up before. And I would encourage you to look again, because what applied to you before may not apply to you now. What resonated before may not resonate now. So just a suggestion there. But I would be looking up the hummingbird, the marshmallow, and Aphrodite. And then it says Aphrodite reminds us that vulnerability and sovereignty create relationships that are self-renewing. Let me repeat that. Aphrodite reminds us that vulnerability and sovereignty create relationships that are self-renewing. Allow yourself to be drawn in by what you love. It attracts many pollinators. Mallow attracts many pollinators, delightful hummingbirds among them. Lightness of being fosterers to open heart. Growing tall in that watery marshlands, mallow shows that when we reach out with a gentle yet steadfast hand, harmonious union follows. Mallow root tea cools the pain of dry, brittle wounds, takes time to soften your sharp edges. Appreciate partnership with kindness and emotional stability, and you will experience mutuality. So there you go, guys. I feel like here you've been given some guidance. It's about learning to stand up and take the lead. It's about softening those brittle edges, the dried outness, right? It's bringing yourself peace. Take the emotion out sometimes and take that bird's eye view with clarity so that you can gain clarity without the emotion running the wheels. And then we have that surrender to the divine, right? Where it's like there's something very divine for you in all of this. Divine within and divine outside of yourself. And really learning, you know, to understand on all levels and very, very deeply that you have the freedom and the power to create the life you desire. And so many times we can feel powerless and choiceless and, well, I can't do this and I can't. I would say maybe think about that one. Okay, guys, there you go. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share the notification bell, and yeah, become a part of our channel. We appreciate you. Anyways, thanks, guys. Until next time. Bye.